What is up, freaky punks? Welcome back to Burkeaux TV, your digital dose of alternative art. This is your host, Burkeaux. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, and if you've already seen what's happening, please write down in the comments below, freaky punks. Today's video is about the new Rings of Saturn album, Gidim, and there's no one better to review this album than my special guest today, coming from the mystical land where the sun never sets, Fredrigo Contreras! Okay, Fredrigo, let's get to the nitty gritty. Can you tell us more about Rings of Saturn, please? Of course. Rings of Saturn is a progressive, technical deathcore outfit, sprinkled with alien overtones, and, ironically, they call themselves Alien Core. The band started as a studio project, but gaining popularity fast, they became a touring band. The band is currently composed of Ian Bearer on vocals and lyrics, Lucas Mann on guitars, bass, composition, arrangement, and synth, Joel Omens on composition and guitars, and Mike Caputo on drums. Although the band has gone through several lineup changes and has had amazing musicians like Miles Dimitri Baker and Aaron Staccaner. Unfortunately, or luckily, depending on perspective and marketing strategies, the band has had some controversy over the years. If you want to know more about that stuff, you can go to MetalSucks.com and check out the articles that they wrote about them, and also you can watch this other video, but I'm not gonna talk a lot about that. I'll just save the drama for your mama. Thank you so much for sharing all your knowledge with us, Fredrigo. What can you tell us about the new album? Gidim is Rings of Saturn's 5th studio album, and like I mentioned before, it has some extraterrestrial connotations. According to frontman Lucas Mann, the word Gidim comes from the Sumerian cuneiform, and it means ancient ghost. The album artwork resembles the Big Bang, and it's supposed to be the universe being created by these ancient ghosts. Fredrigo, let's break this breaker down. Let's start with the good. Okay, let's talk about the good. The album comes in different formats, but what I'm really excited about is that they actually release a cassette tape of the album, and it plays on the nostalgia element, so kudos on that. The instrumentation on this album is top notch, and I'm gonna start with drums because that's my favorite instrument and I'm a drummer myself. So, the whole studio album was recorded by Marco Pietruzella, better known as Lord Marco, and I have nothing but respect for this guy. He's basically a machine, and he can also play the drums blindfolded, and if you don't believe me, I'll leave it in the description down below. Actually, quick story, I am subscribed to Drum Technique Academy, and it's run by Martin from Vienna, and he gets a lot of really cool drummers going into his studio, and they just teach you how to play drums, and that's how I learned to do the gravity blast, watching a tutorial by Lord Marco at drumtechniqueacademy.com. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, I can also leave the link on the description down below. Moving on to the guitar section, well, I hope you like noodles because there's a lot of noodling on this part. The guitars are the main focus of this album, and they are very complex and multi-layered. Sometimes they can sound a little video game-like, which is okay with me, but might be a turn-off for some other people. It actually reminds me of this band, Anamanaguchi. I don't know if you know them, but I'm not saying they're the same style. One of them is deathcore and one of them is 8-bit, but what I'm saying is they both have like a retro video game sound quality to it. I don't know. What do you think? Write it down in the comments. Do you think Rings of Saturn sounds like Anamanaguchi? The music on this album is out of this world. I don't know exactly how to describe this music, but I'll try my best. Interdimensionally futuristic, traveling through time at the speed of light. The most shocking part of this whole album, for me at least, was the lyrics. I usually listen to an album and listen to the drums, listen to the bass, listen to the synths, listen to the whole vibe of it. But in this kind of music, it's hard to even know what they're saying, so not a lot of people read the lyrics. This time, I took my time and I sat down and listened to every single song while I was reading the lyrics, and holy moly, those have some pretty cool lyrics. The will to survive is fueled by simple primal instincts. The mind self implicating your consciousness to view the core structure of a so-called reality, an ability to explore certain dimensional planes, a topological abyss. So yeah, if you end up buying this record, please read the lyrics. Those are some pretty deep thoughts. Another thing that I really enjoy about this album is that it has some stellar guest appearances. There are 3 guest appearances on this record. The first guest appearance is by Charles Caswell from Buried Alive, and he delivers a sick solo on the track Pustules. The second solo is by guitarist Yo Anityan on the track Tormented Consciousness. This solo has a really flowy quality to it and a very organic feel that could easily be put in another kind of context, like a drum and bass song or a video game. Also, great work, Dan Watson, vocalist of Enterprise Earth, on the track Hypodermis Glitch. That was brutal. Overall, this was a great record. It has some really progressive moments, it has some really amazing drumming, and I just felt like I was floating in the cosmos, and then I was kidnapped by a spaceship that was playing video game music inside, and we all actually had fun at the end, so it was great. Nobody really likes a party pooper, but sometimes in life you just have to be a man and talk about what really sucks. So can you please tell us what's bad on this record, Fredrigo? Lo único malo que yo podría decir es que la verdad me gusta mucho la música y me gusta mucho las ideas que ellos tienen, pero tengo un problema con Nuclear Blast porque regularmente cuando tú compras un producto te mandan un código para que puedas descargar las canciones, y me parece que no es tan buena onda que te llegue el disco, bueno, en este caso el cassette, pero sin una descarga. Eso no, la verdad no me gustó mucho. Y la otra cosa es que, bueno, pues no tengo muchas cosas malas que decir porque estos músicos son bastante buenos, son bastante técnicos y son muy progresivos, y lo que están haciendo es que están creando un nuevo sonido, y es pesado, es metal, pero también están descubriendo otras fronteras con los sintetizadores y con las guitarras que no mucha gente se anima a hacerlo porque pues la gente cae mucho en clichés. Por ejemplo, que si eres death metal no puedes tocar de esta manera, pero me da gusto que hay gente de mente abierta que esté creando nuevos sonidos. Thank you so much, Fredrigo. Now the shout-out section. Fit for an Autopsy. A deathcore band from New Jersey guided by the mastermind Will Putney. Rather than focusing on gore and horror and other death metal cliches, this band shifts the attention to social issues, but don't get me wrong, they're freaking brutal. And Signs of the Swarm, who I recently got the chance to see in Toronto, and they're just crushing it. Their new album, Vital Deprivation, is one of the heaviest records in the whole scene. It's actually kind of scary. It is important to acknowledge that all these records came out on the same day, October 25th, 2019. Whoa. This alien core music's got me feeling a little weird. Anyway, thank you so much, Fredrigo, for joining us on this episode. Like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring my bell. You can ring my bell. This was your host, Burkeaux. End of transmission.